Today we're going to be going over 5 things that I like about my Mazda 2 Sport. But before we get into it, I'm just going to quickly tell you guys about 2 Racing, because if you own a Mazda 2 then you might be interested. If you are someone that's on a budget and you're looking to get into driving on track, whether that's competitive racing or you just want to build an awesome track car, check out the link in the description to 2 Racing's website where you can pick up a load of Mazda performance parts as well as more information on how to get involved with racing. If you do pick up anything on the website, then be sure to use the code JoeyRacing10 to receive 10% off your order. So the first thing we're going to talk about on the list is reliability. So obviously when buying a car you want something that's going to be very reliable, otherwise you're going to have a lot of problems and it's going to be an absolute pain. And this is one of the reasons why I've owned 2 Mazda 2s now. If you speak to anyone that owns a Mazda 2, they'll always tell you how reliable the cars are. So this is the 1.5 litre petrol engine. They also do 2 versions of the 1.3 and they also do a 1.6 diesel. So as we can see here, it is a double overhead cam 16 valve variable valve timing. And you can tell the car's got variable valve timing because when you get past, I'd say 3,500 RPM, you do feel the car start to pick up. It just makes the engines very revvy and like eager to go. Other good thing with these engines as well is that they are a timing chain, not a cam belt, so you don't have to ever worry about having to replace a cam belt. So my last car, obviously it had over 100,000 miles on, never had one engine fault. I think the most it had was the washer pump needed replacing. I can't really think of anything else. I've never had any electrical fault or anything with any of the cars. But yeah, I mean, in terms of reliability, they are absolutely pucker. Second thing we're going to talk about on the list is fuel economy. So it's going to shut my door because for some reason I'm getting swarmed by tiny flies out there. This probably wasn't the best place to film. So if we have a look just there, you can see that we are currently averaging 41.4 miles to the gallon, and we also have 244 miles remaining with over half a tank. So that 41.4 miles to the gallon is a combination of steady driving and also driving with a heavy right foot. Now, like any petrol, if you rag the car, you are going to lose fuel quickly. People must think I'm so weird with this camera in front of me. I do find it quite impressive that I have enjoyed the car, but also have drove steady and, getting over 40 miles to the gallon. Bear in mind it is a 1.5 and a petrol. I do think that is quite impressive. The highest miles per gallon I have seen so far is 47, but I do reckon if I was to reset the average and take it on a long drive on the motorway, I do feel like I could reach over 50 to the gallon. I know people in the Mazda 2 forum have reached that sort of MPG, so it is possible. Obviously, all depends on how you drive it. But yeah, they're great cars. If you're someone that just wants to sort of potter around, or even if you do sort of long miles and you want something sort of small and nimble, these cars are literally perfect. So the company that I bought this car off, they actually use these Mazda 2s to drive their customers around. So if any of their customers have to drop their car off and they need to get somewhere, then they'll use Mazda 2s to pop them around, just because they also say how reliable and economical they are. So yeah, fuel economy, pretty good. So the third thing we're going to talk about on the list is handling. where do I start with handling? 2 Racing, you guys know what's up. You guys, 2 Racing, you know what is up with these cars when it comes to handling. Absolutely spot on. The chassis is great. Good thing with these cars is it's all NA power. So once you've got the momentum up there, the speed you can carry around corners is great. You know, you're not going to have a turbo kicking in and, you know, pushing more power into the wheels and losing traction. It's all NA. The power's a lot linear, and yeah, you can carry a lot more speed around corners, especially in the wet. Stock wheels, we're on 16 inches. We're also on some Yokohama Advan Flavour V701 tyres. So I've mentioned these before, but they are very good tyres. I am a big fan of them. One thing I will say, the back end sometimes seems to be a little bit happy, shall we say. Obviously, being a light car, it weighs just over a tonne, so it is very light, and not having much weight at the back, sometimes the back end can kind of skip out a little bit. But in a way, having that slippier back end, you're not going to get as much understeer. You know, if the back end's coming round for you, you can kind of use the power of the front wheel drive to make the correction and pull you around the corner, if you know what I mean. My terminology is probably not too great, so 2 Racing are better to explain. So if you want to actually find out what's so great about these cars in terms of handling, ask 2 Racing. They'll tell you everything you need to know. As mentioned, obviously the car is very light, so because of that, the braking is very good. You know, the brakes haven't got to stop a load of weight, so you can brake really late round, which is good because, you know, when you're on track or you just want to have a bit of fun around the road, you do want to brake as late as possible and put the power down as early as possible through the corners. With this particular model, being the facelift one, the suspension is actually a little bit softer than the previous one I had. Previous one had slightly stiffer suspension, which obviously that's going to help a little bit with handling. You're not going to get as much body roll, but with this car having slightly softer suspension in the wet, that actually seems to help the car quite a bit, because with the slightly more body roll, if it's wet, when the car comes into the corner, it can kind of lean and put more weight onto one side. So in a sense, you're not really going to get as much understeer, because obviously the car's able to lean and put the power down a bit better because there's more weight going onto one side. But yeah, handling is just great. They're fun cars, they're nimble, the steering's very direct, but that's what they are. These are purely momentum cars, so once you've got your speed up, you can carry so much of it through the corners, and yeah, they're a lot of fun. They're a lot of fun. Fourth thing we're going to talk about on the list is sound. Now, as mentioned, obviously it's a 1.5 VVT, so I believe that having the VVT just kind of gives it a nice sort of throatier noise to the engine. When you're just cruising and you're just driving normally, the car is very quiet, so for people that do sort of motorway trips, long drives, you know, it's perfect. You can't hear it at all. But then when you put your foot down, you want to have a bit of fun. Oh, it's an addicting noise. It's such a revvy engine. Like, the car literally just wants to, you can tell it's just ready to go. And being VVT as well, there's not actually any power until sort of 3,500, 4,000 RPM. So with the way that the engine's kind of set up, it's almost like it's encouraging you to rev it out, because obviously in order to get the most power out of it, you do have to rev the car out. And that's where the fun comes in with this car. It makes a nice revvy noise, and it's encouraging you to rev it up, you know, and with how reliable these engines are as well, you know that the car can take it, and you're not going to have any problems. Don't have to worry about it blowing up or anything, as long as you've got oil and coolant and stuff. But yeah, it's very addicting, and I don't know, it gives you so much confidence as well, just with the way that it handles. and the way that it revs out, it's just like, it gives you so much confidence. Don't really know what else to say. They've just got a really nice addicting tone, and you know, the car's just eager to go and be revved out, because I mean, that's what it's having VVT, that's kind of what it's built for. And the fifth thing I'm going to talk about on the list is styling. I mean, what's not to like about it? Yes, I know a lot of people would probably see these as a granny car, because a lot of elderly people tend to drive these cars. But you know what? If it is a granny car, then the grannies driving it look bloody cool. I mean, we have some nice 10-spoke alloys from Standard. A lot of people, if they're lowering their car, they seem to just rock the original alloys, because, well, I mean, when the cars are lowered, the alloys look good. So we have a nice little spoiler at the top. It is subtle, but it does make a difference to the back. The headlights, I think the headlights look really nice. Yeah, they're kind of black at the bottom, and then you've got your main beams, your normal beams, your indicators, and then also the side lights are here. But I just really like how they look. They're a lot better than the headlights on the base spec model. Obviously, this one being the facelift, we've got a different grille slightly. The other one, as mentioned in one of my last videos, it's just kind of straight, and this one, it kind of sticks out a little bit, and the car looks like it's smiling. Looks like a very happy car. Another thing with mine having the protection pack on it, it's got these like side molds, which are colour matched, obviously. But I think these look really good. I have seen these on other cars, but they've been the sort of black plastic colour. They haven't actually colour matched, and I'm not a particularly big fan of them. But these ones, colour matched, I don't know, they just add a little something to the side, and I think they look smart. Obviously, mine being the Sport, we've got some, oh my god, it is dark. We've got some nice seats here. I do really love these seats. As mentioned in my review on this car, have the side skirts as well, which I think add a really nice touch to the car. Definitely looks a lot smarter with the side skirts. But overall, it's a nice looking car. You tell the car is just not basic. You know, you can see on this one with the spoiler and the nice alloys and the side skirts, you can see that it's more of a sportier looking car. But yeah, they look really good, and when modified right, they look incredible. But I think that's the other thing with these cars. They aren't very common in, obviously, like younger sort of people like me, basically. So when you do see one that's modified, you know, it's for me anyway, I think it's sick seeing other modified Mazda 2s, because you just don't see them anywhere. So yeah, I think that is everything covered for today's video. Obviously, probably not the most formal information about the car, but you know, I hope I've been able to give you guys a bit of an insight into the car's good features and, you know, basically what they have to offer. So if you enjoyed this video, please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you're new. I'd really appreciate it. We are getting really close to 1k subs now, so yeah, hopefully maybe within the next few months, if I'm consistent, we'll hit it. Who knows? But yeah, I appreciate every single one of you, and that's it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.